Wife cheating again. Hi all. Today we planned for my wife to pick me up from work, about an hour away, so I could leave a vehicle there. Said she would be there at 5 p.m. I checked her location, find my phone, around 4:30 to see how much time I had based on where she was, which was around 30 minutes. Over 40 minutes later I checked location again, and it showed wife's phone in a parking lot 4 minutes away. I called wife and asked where she was as it's past our agreed time, and she said she didn't know where she was, and didn't want to talk because she was listening to music, and said she'd be there to pick me up in 20 minutes. I shrugged this off initially thinking I'm being paranoid and maybe she was working on a surprise, but after 10 minutes checked location again and her phone still showed at park. I felt a sense of dread and pit in my stomach and felt the need to drive the 4 minutes to ease my mind. As I approached I saw our car, and another car right next to it, which were the only two in the lot. I parked behind our car, and observed a female in the lap of the driver get up and move to passenger seat of the other car. Our car was not occupied. I got out of my car and started to approach other vehicle to try to confirm. They pulled off and the driver was a male, but unfortunately could not confirm passenger was wife. I snapped a picture of the vehicle driving away to have record of plates. I was shocked and didn't try to contact wife. Roughly 6 minutes later, wife calls from a number unknown to me. Says she left her phone in the car, and her friend picked her up to go down the street and collect cleaning fee from one of her friend's customers. I did check location and phone was still at park, so I do believe wife left her phone in car. I asked that she stay at a friend's house tonight as I was shaken up about what I think I saw. She continues to deny she did any wrong, but my gut is telling me otherwise. Additional context: found wife sending and having inappropriate conversations with 6 people back in 2020. She said nothing ever became physical. I decided to forgive, with an agreement that I'd be able to check her phone occasionally if I felt something was off and it would help ease any anxiety I had about it. I checked it a few times, maybe once a month. But for the past several months, she has locked her phone and not allowed me access. She said the idea of me checking her phone gives her anxiety, and needed her privacy. I didn't agree, but have accepted it. Before I caught her cheating, I had never looked through her phone. I found the pictures because she left Snapchat reel open one day and was looping picture while open and sitting on our bed, and an inappropriate photo that caught my eye. Is there a chance wife is telling truth about not being the person I saw in the other car? Her denial of this has me questioning my own intuition, and I want to believe her, but I'm having a very hard time giving her the benefit of the doubt due to the circumstances. We are both in our 30s, married 5 years. TLDR, wife was late picking me up, tracked her phone to nearby park where I found her car and another parked next to each other as the only cars in the lot. Movement inside other car indicated relationships was happening. They drove off when they saw me, and I couldn't visually confirm wife was passenger, but driver was male. Wife claims misunderstanding, that she met her friend at the park, and they went to run an errand, and that she wasn't at the park the same time I was. Thoughts or suggestions on my next actions or how I should address this? Comments. 1. So, let me get this straight. 1. You had plans for wife to pick you up at work at 5 p.m. 2. At 4:30 you check her location. She's 30 minutes away. So far, so good. 3. Past 5:10 you check again and her phone is in a parking lot 4 minutes away. Odd. 4. You call. She doesn't know where she is, but shut up and go away because, music. Give me 20 more minutes, presumably to drive 4 minutes away. 5. Approximately 5:30, you check again and phone is still at park, 4 minutes away. Music must be really good. How long does a typical song last? 6. You drive to park. Takes you 4 minutes. 7. Your car is there, parked next to another car which clearly has 2 people in it. The woman gets off the guy's lap as soon as they see you. They speed away. 8. You stand at wife's empty car for 6 minutes, then she calls from an unknown phone. Female friend had picked her up to go collect money. Apparently the good music is now done and she's bored, so instead of picking you up like you arranged, she meets up with an alibi, friend. 9. She continues to deny she's done anything wrong. What the hell has this woman done right? Certainly not live up to the agreement from her last batch of cheating. Why was she in this park in the first place? Plus, no woman I know leaves her phone in the car and takes off with a friend. That alone is highly suspect. And why take off with a friend, abandoning your car and phone, when you know your husband is waiting for you to come get him? None of this makes any friggin' sense. Maybe you couldn't 100% ID her in the car, but she's like the kid standing next to the open cookie jar, with crumbs and chocolate all over her face, who then denies she ate the cookies. You didn't see her put them in her mouth, but is there really any doubt? There is -0 chance she is telling the truth about not being the female in the other car. You want to believe her. You want to give her her privacy back. You want to stay with this poor excuse for a human being. If you stay, you're now going to get cheated on to an exponential degree, as she will then know she can get away with anything. If you must stay for now, start acting like her. Guard your phone. Text a friend and laugh, then lock your phone when she asks/tries to look. It's a friend, nothing going on. Then disappear for hours with BS explanations. Car trouble that miraculously fixed itself. Got caught in a downpour and couldn't safely drive, on a sunny day, no less. Don't answer her texts for long periods of time, then say you fell asleep. Guaranteed, she will not like it one bit, yet she's happy to dish it out. Next actions: gather evidence of her infidelity and contact a lawyer to begin divorce proceedings. When you're ready to file, contact only happens through attorneys. 2. If you would have looked into the car, you would have seen the head of your wife in the lap of a guy. When you then ask her what she does there, she will tell you that she dropped something at his feet and was trying to recover it. She lied to you when you called her, which says enough. I mean, if she didn't know where she was, why did she then leave her car and left her phone behind in the car? Why not start the navigation app on her phone and find out where she is so that she can get to you? Man, the only music your wife was listening to was her playing the flute of a guy. 3. Your wife is a liar. Your wife is a cheater. Your wife was in the car with the guy and drove off with him for the whole night. She had to have had to pick up her car that night because the park will ticket and tow the car. I would have sat there all night. Stop rug sweeping and walk away from your cheating wife. She's not going to stop. 4. There is no chance at all she is innocent. The rule is lie, 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 and don't ever admit the truth no matter what. Play the victim when confronted and keep lying. They know you desperately want to believe them and will keep telling you what you want to hear over the truth. After my divorce, I was involved with a married woman. In hindsight, it was the worst thing I ever did, but at the time I believed her stories of abuse and saw her as a victim, not the abuser. She took a good family man for over $1 million when she finally did leave him, but not until a fake attempt at reconciliation, because after they had relationships he lost all his leverage in court. Even in an at-fault state, infidelity is inadmissible after the couple have relationships with the cheated-on party knowing. So won the lotto by opening her legs for him and lost his future. I was ridiculous. Do not trust her. 5. I'm sorry, but I think it's fairly obvious she's cheating on you again. It's too much of a coincidence that she doesn't want you looking at her phone, despite the fact you caught her cheating before. A truly remorseful spouse would want you to check the phone to prove she isn't cheating anymore. Plus, any spouse saying that they don't want their significant other seeing their phone is always a red flag. Her not showing up, you noticing she was at the park, her giving you a ridiculous excuse as to why she couldn't talk, and then her not being in the car when you got there, only to see another car next to it with a couple having relationships. Too obvious. The fact she didn't have her phone with her when she contacted you later. This may seem innocent at first, but think about it. If she is caught up in the thrill of something as illicit as having an affair, and meeting up with her affair partner just before picking you up, she wouldn't think of having the phone with you while bouncing on his lap, especially if she didn't want any calls from you to interrupt what she's doing. Then, when they saw you approaching and pulled away, she of course wouldn't be able to take the phone with her. The story about her friend picking her up is ridiculous. She was supposed to be picking you up, so why would she agree to suddenly go off with her friend at the last minute? You're being lied to, and you know it. Your instincts were warning you as well, and you almost blew up the whole thing. You know what you need to do. 1. Hire a lawyer and discuss your options. ASAP. 2. Get yourself tested for STDs. You don't know what she may have given you. 3. Separate your finances. Open up a new account in your name only, and make sure that from now on, that's where your paycheck goes. 4. If you feel the need to gather more evidence, you may want to hire a PI. At this point, you've pretty much spelled out to her that you are suspicious, so she is going to do whatever it takes to keep you from finding anything more out. Granted, she doesn't seem all that smart, otherwise she wouldn't have set up a liaison with her AP just before picking you up, and she has some of the worst excuses I think I've seen yet from cheaters, and I've seen quite a bit, but still, she knows you're onto her. A PI worth their salt knows how to stay in their subject's blind spots when gathering evidence. 5. Go gray rock, look up the term if you need to. You've shown her too much of your emotional side already, which is why she thinks she can play you. Dealing with her in an unemotional fashion will make her less able to emotionally manipulate you, as well as get her to realize that you are checking out, which is going to make her even more nervous, and prone to making more mistakes. I know you want to believe her, but you have to be honest with yourself. Deep down, you know the type of person you're dealing with, and you know that the ridiculous she's been pulling since you caught her the first time is not okay. You let her off too lightly the last time. Now it's time to pull the gloves off. There should be consequences for betrayal, and it's past time for you to let her feel them.